All right, let's get started. So in our previous class, what we have covered is the modeling section. Um, so we considered uh, the Northwind data model, and then we started with the all tables layout, where we were seeing list of all the tables, and then a relationship between those tables. And then after that, we have seen the different layout. We have options. So we have this orders requirement where we can drag and drop, and then we can include all the specific tables for this requirement. And then the same way we could have multiple layouts as well. So here on this one, we were focusing how the relationship will work between different tables. So the first table what we included here is alphabetical list of product. So this is one table with list of columns, and then we have products table. So product table with a different column, which would also include the ID columns as well. And then we have this invoices table as well. So again, you could see there is a relationship between this product tables and then the invoices table. The way we have the relationship between the alphabetical list of products and products table is using the product ID. And this is one-to-one relationship. That is the first relationship we would have. So the meaning of one-to-one relationship is that alphabetical list of products table has only one record for one product ID. And then the same thing is for the products table as well. So each record within the products table has only one ID for one product. But what we have seen, the relationship between products and invoices table, is that this is one-to-many relationship. So one-to-many relationship will be very common for you when there is a transaction data. So this is invoices data. So let's say if there is a salary data, and then if there is a employee table, so between employee and salary table, so you would have one-to-many relationship, because a employee joins a company only one time, but when the company has to send out the salary, it will be multiple times. So it will be this, the relationship is saying that for one employer ID or for one product ID, they are multiple invoices. And using this information, we also have tried to analyze the data here, and then we created multiple report pages. One of the report pages we were targeting was shipment analysis. So we analyzed for the shipping country, what's the count of product ID. So if we have to check from which table we are seeing these columns, then we have to open the fields pane, and then we have to open the visualization pane. So you could see when I selected this table visual here, then it is highlighting on invoices table. So if I expand invoices table, then it will show me from which specific columns are being included for building this table. So here we have ship country, that's the first column what we have here, and then we have included product ID. But here you see, instead of just showing the product ID, this is showing count of product ID. That means Power BI allows you to directly do some mathematical operations. So if I click here on this drop down here, then you could see I have the option of doing some average, min, max. But for this instance, we were doing distinct count, and then we have standard deviations and all. So we, in this one, we are seeing a list of all the countries, and then the distinct count of the products what we have for this country. So US was the highest. So same way, we have another table visual. So when I select this table visual, then you see within the invoices, we have product ID, and then we have the ship state. And then the mathematical operation, what we are doing here is the distinct count. And then the same thing here is using the ship city and then count of product ID as well. Okay. And then the other thing what we have seen last time is the capability to do cross filtering. So when I select a USA city here, the USA country here, then you could see we have list of all the states, and then we have list of all the cities here. So it will directly do the cross filtering. You could do it any way. So if you select one specific state, then it will show you the country, and then it will show you the city as well. So this is how we will be able to do cross filtering. So now, as we have created one specific page for shipment analysis, we can customize this report page, and then we can create visuals as well. So let's say we have the ship city. We don't want this one for our requirement. So what we could do is we can arrange this. So right now, what we are trying to do is we will customize this report page so that we want to meet the requirement of the business user. So that way we want to arrange this report page properly. So whenever you're arranging the report page, you have to think about three key important things. So one will be KPI, second will be slicers, and then third will be the charts, whatever you're presenting. So let me scroll this down, this table visual to the bottom for now, and then we have this chart by state, and then we have this one by city. So now at the top, I can show high level information, which will be KPIs. So I have to select a card visual here. So you could see I'm selecting a card visual. And from this, now I can try to get the distinct count of all the products that are coming from the invoices table. So you could see for the all the shipment analysis is coming from the invoices table. So I can select this card visual, and from this, I can choose product ID, drag and drop here. And this one by default, it's doing distinct count, but instead of doing a count, we can do a distinct count here. So these are list of products that have been sold basically. So we could rename this. So when you select a card visual, so the field name, what you see here, count of product ID, that is what it will be displayed here. But if you want to make more formatting, then we would have this format option here. I can open this. Within this, I have this different options. So first option, what I have is the general. Here within this, I have X position, Y position, width, height. So this will get updated when I decrease or increase the size. So you could see, if you could observe, then we have a different size for the width and height. So I can rearrange this within general and then try to provide X and Y position. If I come to this data label here, I can change the color or make it dynamic. So you could see f of x formula here. So if you want to highlight this number saying whenever there is an increase in the product number, make it dynamic. We can use this conditional formatting option here to do it. But for now, let's say if we are only focusing on changing or updating colors, then we can do that. So let's say if I'm changing it and then making it to blues, then you could see the color is updated. And display units, how you want to basically display your data. So you could see we have different options here. And then we have the text size, what we want to display. So it's, let's say if I want to display this as 40, then we can do it. And then we have this font family. So you could choose a different font within this. So this is the complete list of font available within Power BI. Okay, so this comes within the data label. Next, you have category label. So let me give more space here to see all the labels. So category label is so what we see here at the bottom. So let's see. So let's say if I change this one to a color, so you could see count of product ID. Now here we have the option we have two different options here. So let's say if you're not interested in showing the category label, but if you want to add a title, then you could see we have the option here of adding the title. So the title will come at the top. So now I have enabled this and I am expanding this, and then here I could say this is count of, I would say, list of all products. Yep. So you could see when I have added the name, so it's appearing at the top. Then I have the capability of changing the color, background color, and then I can also change the alignment. So you could do this and then arrange it. And then again, if I go within the formatting option, I have the capability to change the background. But after this title, so within the title, we also have the word wrap, which is uh, nothing. And then within the background, we have the capability to change here as well. So you could see we can update the background here. And then we have the border option, so which we can update here and then create a border. So if I select again the card visual and then come within this and then pick a random color to see the border, then you could see a border has been added. So all the formatting options are basically available here. So based on the need, we can update it. And then we have the shadow option. So we can enable that, and then we can choose any shadow here. So you could see the way we are able to update it. And if I come here, then we have the tooltip as well. So tooltip is not helpful here, so which we could discuss how we can leverage it. But you could see using the different formatting option, how we can basically make use of it. So visual header option, what we have at the last, that's for all this different the options what we see at the top. But if you don't want to display that for the users in Power BI service, then you can basically turn this off, and then it will not show for the users in Power BI service. But let's say if you want to show it, it will be like more information for the users, then you can keep this. We have bunch of options for here as well. So not all the options from this applies for a particular visual, but this complete list is for all the different visuals here. Okay, so any questions? So same way, any of the other visual will have the same formatting option. So when I select this first table visual, which is the breakdown by the ship country, and then the count of product ID. So same way I can go within the format option. So you could see these are the list of all the formatting options that we have available for us. So within the style, I can come here and then I can directly pick a preset style here, which we have selected the bold header. But as per your requirement, you can choose anyone from this list, or you could say it none, and then you could do apply your own settings from here. So I can come back here and then choose bold headers. And then let's say if you're applying the same thing for the other visuals, then I can select this. And then at the top, so let me expand the top menu. So within this, we have the format painter. So I can click on that. I first selected the first table visual and then copy the format painter. So same thing what we do in Word and other documents. And then I apply to this second table visual, which is by the state breakdown. And then we have by the ship. So you could see we have completed formatting for all the available table visuals. And then now we can try to arrange this. So here, one of the KPIs, what we are showing here is a list of products. What I could do is I can copy paste this so that I'm utilizing the same formatting. So copy paste, you could see here, we have the option here at the top. So when I select this, I can do a copy and then paste. So it will create duplicate. And then here I can add more KPIs. So if I come within the data view, so the second option what we have to the left, and then within the invoices, so we have different informations here. So we have shipping related information. So shipping name, ship address, ship city, postal code, ship country. So we could see how many countries are basically involved for this shipping. So what I could do is, so within this invoices list of all the columns, so I have ship country, I can drag and drop and then place within the fields. So you could see default, it's picking the first, but here we want to do a distinct count. Then you could see we have a total of 21 countries being involved. So which I'm basically using the ship country, and then I'm trying to get count of all the countries within this invoices table. So again, the same thing, I can go within this and then update the formatting. So this time I have to update the title here. So this is list of all countries here, and I can select this, copy one more time, and then again I can go in the data view. So this you could see I'm exploring the data in the data view, and then I'm trying to see what all different metrics we could present. So this case could be when you want to present like a proof of concept for the front end users. But if you, let's say if you have specific requirements, then what you have to basically do is, so you have to see what all columns will be involved to meet the requirement, and then based on that you have to build the visuals or create the visuals here. Okay, so next we have customer related information, and then we have customer IDs. So we could see by doing a distinct count of customer IDs, how many customers we have served. So I can select this KPI card again, and then I could drag and drop customer ID. So here, till here you have seen like we did not add any DAX calculation, because we are able to directly use the calculation what Power BI is providing directly, and then create all the metrics here. So here again, I'm doing the distinct count. So total of 89 customers we have. So I can come here, and then so here within the title, I have all customers. So let me remove this, all customers, or let me do this, customers count. This will be countries count, and then we have products count here. Same way I can do some adjustment here so that this is getting displayed at the top. All right, so now we can arrange this table visual. So let's say if I want to first display ship country, and then bottom to the of that, if I want to display by state, I can do that, and then I can add this table visual here. Okay, so if you have more KPIs to display, then you could do it at the top here. So this will be like a driving factor. So on the whole, the information what we are providing here is we have a total 77 products with the 21 countries and then 89 customers. And then we have a breakdown here. So count of products here and all. But let's say if we want to expand our table visuals, then what we could do is, instead of apart from showing count of product ID. We can also show customer ID as well. So I can drag and drop here and then add a distinct count of customer IDs. So I just use this customer ID, and then within this, I use this distinct count. So you could see, apart from showing the ship country, so we are also showing how many customers they are handling. So I can expand this, and then within this, I have customer dragging and dropping customer ID, and then doing a distinct count, and then same thing here as well. So customer ID, and then doing a distinct count. Okay, so this is how you could do it. And then now for users to make any selection, so you can provide slicers at the top. So you see, if I go again in the data view, so invoices table, so we have uh, different options to provide slicers, but let's focus only on order date for now. And then we can also cover this portion where we can do DAX related calculation, where we have unit price, quantity, discount. But we have this order date. So if I come within the report view, and then within the visualization, so you could see we have slicer option. So I can click on that, and then I select the order date. So then you could see it's providing me the capability with this range slicer. So I can reduce this. So for the users, they will have the capability to drag and then select the date range for which they want to display it. Okay. So let's say if you are more interested in giving users only the capability of selecting year slicer, then you have to expand this order date. Within order date, we will have the date hierarchy. So it will be year, quarter, month, and date. So I have to just select year from this. And you could see this populates all the years for which we have the data. And then we can change this to slicer. And when we have this selected, so by default, it will give us the range because of the numerical field. But I can come here. You see beside the slicer icon, we have this drop down. We can either show this one as a list, or drop down, or between, or less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. For now, we are interested only to show as a drop down. We click on that, and then let's say we are deleting this slicer what we added. So I can click here and then say remove, and here let me expand this. And now the users, they can select one specific year and then see how it's performing. So you could see 1998, 81 customers count, 21 countries involved, and then 76 product, but 97, 86, and then in 1996 it will be only 67 customers. But let's say if you also want to provide them the charts for the year breakdown, then the way you could do it is, again, you can go within the order state hierarchy and then choose year filter here. So let me clear the slicer. So you could see it's showing me list of all the years. And then to this, I can drag and drop and then add customer ID. Let me remove this. So let me first select this table visual and then add customer ID and then do distinct count. So we have distinct count here. So we got list of all the customers by year. And then here we also want to add products. So I can drag and drop here, and then I can do a distinct count. So same thing what we did for the other visuals. And then here, now I can convert this. So this is not very much meaningful, right? So I'm not able to correlate or anything. So I can come here and then I can plot this one on a line and a stack bar chart. So I could put one of the metrics on line value. Then you could see, so let me also rearrange this. Again, as I mentioned, so each table visual will have a formatting option. So I can come within general and then close responsive. And you could see it's displaying a count of customer ID and then count of product ID and then different years. And then it's also displaying legend. So legend, you could see currently it's positioned at the top. Then we could show it at the bottom center here, or we could show it at the top center. So that's what we could do it. And then we can have like a different name for the legend. So we could, let's say if you're showing this as metrics, then we can do that. And then you could see we have the color, we can change the color, we can change the font and all. Next, what we have is we have the option to update the x-axis and then also the y-axis here. So within this, so we can change the scale. We can say from where we want to start and then where we want to end, and then we can update the text size, font family, and then how we want to show the styling option for displaying the titles, and then we have the option for the grid lines as well. And then within the y-axis, so we could see option to display the position at like whether on left or right, and then we have the option of showing the title and grid lines as well. And then within this, so let me again go back to the x-axis and then let me turn off the title. Then you could see I'm not showing here because I would include it in the visual title. So same thing, I would go within the y-axis and within the y-axis. So as we are using two different axes here, so I would say show secondary axis as turn on. And then here the difference you could see, the one to the left, so it's starting from 0, which is showing the count of customer IDs, but the line chart is the count of product ID, so which is starting from 74. So here I'm saying show secondary, and then I'm saying align zeros. So this would now match the zeros for both the axes, and then the position here to the right, we could keep it the same. And then we have option to show the data labels, and then we have this coloring option as well, data color. So we can change this to a different color. So let's say we choose this, and data labels will show the labels here. Either you could change it for the complete chart, or you could customize and then you could show it for a specific metric here. So if I scroll down here, then you could see we have this option of customize series. Then I can click on this, and then now I'm selecting count of customer ID. Display unit, I have position, I want to display it at inside base. So you could see I want to change the background color, and then I want to display the font size as white. And then I want to now select count of product ID, and then I want to close the background, and I want to display the font color, the same thing, and I want to bump up the font size, and then position I'll say above. Yep. So you could see I can complete this and then do some rearrangement here. I can bring this down and then give more space to this. Okay, so this is how we'll be able to do formatting, and then we'll be able to present the data for the users. Right now on this, we have a lot of table visuals because that is how we have the structure of the data, but we could try to add a lot of metrics, rearrange, place all the slicers, options, KPIs in different ways for the users here. Okay, so I'll stop the recording here and then we'll move on to the questions.